Welcome to part 21. This video will contain a lot of cutscenes and plot advancements, so just sit back and relax. Anyway, we have beaten the bird, and now it is time to face the bird's master, Ganondorf. We have the Master Sword. We are ready to fight to the death, I guess, because the boat said the Master Sword can take care of him. And Ganon, you are sporting a Lincoln-esque beard. Probably grown it out during the centuries or something. Yeah, everything decided to turn color again for some reason. Yeah. Alright, so apparently the Master Sword serves as different roles depending on which game it appears in. I mean, in the Ocarina, it serves as not only the key to the Sacred Realm and the key to time travel. In this game, it's apparently the key to keep Ganon's powers sealed. So, yeah, Link broke the seal, and now Ganon's powers are back. And the Master Sword didn't work. You know, Boat, that's false advertisement. You said that the sword can take care of this guy. What the heck? Anyway, it appears that every time a Link pulls a Master Sword, well, at least the two in the 3D games, something bad always happens that involves Ganondorf. The Link in Ocarina pulls the Master Sword the first time, he is sealed, and Ganon gets access to the Sacred Realm and his Triforce piece. This time, this Link pulls the Master Sword, and all of Ganon's powers return. Yeah, sometimes it's just better to leave things alone, and yeah. Anyway, Tetra tried and failed to help Link. Not surprised, because they're dealing with an all-powerful, guy thingy. And what is this triangle hanging from Tetra's neck and Ganondorf's piece is blinking? Uh-oh. Oh, the plot thickens. And remember, folks, the bird was carrying Tetra towards Forsaken Fortress before being shot at by the pirates. So if the pirates had failed to knock Tetra from the bird, she would have been here now, and Ganon would probably have been one step closer to completing his plan much sooner. So, yeah, thank the pirates for that. What? Well, look who we have here. We have Quill and Prince Kamali with his newly formed wings. Oh, and hi, Valu. So, yeah, apparently Valu had a vision of Tetra and Link getting owned and probably traveled all the way to Forsaken Fortress with Quill and Prince Kamali to bail him out. And do you think fire will kill Ganon? Well, the guy survived the collapse of his own tower. What do you think? I mean, he probably bathes in fire, for all we know. Probably sitting in a tub of fire with a little rubber ducky or something. So, yeah. And how did the boat travel here so fast? I mean, oh, and looks like Kamali has grown a little bit since we last saw him. I'm guessing getting feathers are essentially the Rito's way of puberty. Oh, and translation coming up. Still, it is too soon for us to relax. Ganon cannot be destroyed by such simple means as wrath and fire. I see, and I agree. Very well then, we are counting on you. And folks, they go off into the moonlight, their job completed and such. And folks, say goodbye to Quill because this is the last time you will see him in this game. And of course, there's this nice little subplot with Kamali coming up. So we'll get to that when we get to that. Alright. Back down to Hyrule. Okay. Alright. Now here's clue number one to that something is not entirely right here. The boat is contacting you through the stone while you're on the boat. It would have been as simple as, turning his head around, telling them to go to the Master Sword Chamber, but there is more. There is something more going on right here. I'm just saying. Yeah. Anyway, remember in my last video when I struck the boat and it reacted like it flinched and all that? Well, in just a moment, I'm going to do the same thing. See? I'm going to draw my sword out right here, and I'm going to strike the boat again. And see? Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. Clue number 2. That there is more than meets the eye right now. Alright, anyway, our goal is to lead Tetra to the Master Sword Chamber underneath the Hero of Time statue. La 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 la. Come on, come on. Let's go, come on. No, no climbing, Link. Go down. There we go. And here comes plot. Hi there. Bad stones. The gossip stones? You mean those gray stones that have the Sheikah's eyes on it? You know, the ones you hit to that tells time, and if you wear the Mask of Truth, you read certain gossip about certain things? That's an enhanced version? Really? Huh. I just... alright. Blah, yeah. People, the audience, we already know that this is Hyrule. You don't need to spill it out. And you're that guy in the painting! Wow! So yeah, meet King Hyrule. I'm not saying that name. Screw you. And of course, it's not surprising that this guy is also the boat. Yeah, so apparently since the Master Sword did not work as advertised, things have changed. The plans had to be altered a little bit. And of course, stand by for exposition. He explains, blah, 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 blah. Ganondorf ravaged the land. We already know that. I played through the game. We saw the prologue. Alright. So yeah, we know that they prayed. And we finally hear the answer to what happened. So it seems the goddesses have read the story of Noah's Ark and probably did the same thing, flood the land to pretty much get rid of the evil. And then, of course, all the survivors, like the goddesses, tell those who want to be saved and all that stuff to head to the mountaintops and blammo, all those mountains in the Hyrule, all those places above the sea. Yeah, they were mountaintops of Hyrule. So, yeah, that also gives credit to why Dragon Roost could possibly be Death Mountain, because that place is big. That is a big mountain. Alright. Alright, we have pieces of the triangle. Again, there's no foreshadowing to this piece. That's the thing. I mean, if it was just this tiny hint, maybe some kind of clue in Tetra's room while we were taking a sneak peek to it, maybe it would have worked a little better, but honestly, it's like they just pull it out of nowhere, but hey, game logic, I don't care. Yeah. So yeah, apparently Tetra's mother and those before her have passed this thing along for generations until this moment. And it turns out that the king had the remaining piece of this triangle. And just like that, bright light. Oh, and the music, by the way, it sounds similar because it's pretty much the title music from A Link to the Past, all epic and glorified. Oh, look. Look who we have here. And of course, the Triforce of Wisdom is now in her. Say hi again to Princess Zelda. And cue Zelda's lullaby. And of course, she's now all dressed pretty like, and she no longer has a tan. And, well, again, it's the Triforce of Wisdom. It changed a previous Princess Zelda from a guy-like figure into a frou-frou princess. And in fact, both of them are tomboys. Yeah, it's kind of coincidence or not, or So yeah, this is pretty much we're pretty much at the halfway point of this game in a sense, because we have finished one objective and now we have to do the second objective, which is to protect Princess Zelda and stop Ganondorf. But of course, the Master Sword currently lacks the power to you know, actually take care of him, and that's going to be our goal for the next half of this game, to restore its power to full. And of course, Zelda has to remain here because Ganondorf will be looking for her because he wants that piece. And I haven't noticed this. Whoa! What the heck? Whoa! Hello! Ah! So, he's a ghost. I mean, it makes sense that he's a ghost because, well, how else could he possess a boat? And apparently, ghosts contain weird powers and such. And of course, Zelda here is being all apologetic to what's happened to them. So, yeah. Apparently, becoming a princess has humbled her a bit, so... And Link's like, yeah, you'll be fine. Bye, Zelda. We will not see you again till near the end of the game. Yeah. And of course, once again, the thing will seal itself. And how is Zelda going to survive down there? I mean, obviously, it'll take at least days or so, at the very least. Shouldn't the king have prepared some kind of food or water, something to make her a little more comfortable during her stay? And of course, again, video game logic. Anyway, I want to show you something right here. You know, it would be nice to actually walk down here in Hyrule, to actually explore this land. It would be kind of cool and all that stuff, but as we get a little closer to right here, you'll notice that there's this purple barrier right here. And guess what? We cannot breach it. No, we cannot go any further than the castle. That sucks, because I kind of wanted to walk on land. I am tired of sailing. Anyway, right now we're going to talk to the boat, and he'll tell us what to do next. And he'll pour more salt to the wound about not walking in Hyrule. And of course, apparently there are now sages that are required that power the Master Sword, and given what we know now about the Master Sword's origin, it's like, what? So now our job is to visit 2 temples, and of course, he explains, as we have discovered, there is a barrier that prevents us from going any further. And of course, he tells us that there are alternate entrances on the mountaintops, which means we have to go back up to the sea, and we're going to have to do some more sailing. I kind of want to walk. I mean, I don't care how long it takes. I just want to walk. I am tired of sailing. Why? Why? It would have been neat to explore Hyrule in this graphical layout. It would have been so cool. But no, we have to sail. And of course, back on the surface, the boat will explain about how the Hero of Time left this land, and his Triforce piece would have been split into 8 different pieces, scattered across the sea. Yeah. And apparently the only way to get back into Hyrule now is to collect the 8 Triforce pieces. And when we get there, oh boy. Oh boy. Anyway, I also like to point out that the king in his human form and the boat have a very similar haircut. So that would have been another clue to his identity. Kind of like he fashioned it himself, so yeah. Anyway, the 2 temples that he marked on the map, they're actually right here. They're known as Headstone Island and Gale Isle. And, of course, before we go there, I want to get some things. First of all, I want to go on and get some fairy upgrades. Yeah, there are a few more upgrades we need to get before we go on to the temples. So let's do this. All remaining upgrades involve the arrows. First stop, Western Fairy Island in Quadrant A3. And I'm going to go ahead and read the fisherman comments on this area. I hear the bird people who live on Dragon Roost Island east of here have invented an incredibly useful device they call a grappling hook. No lie, Fry. I hear you can throw that thing at monsters and use it to grab treasure they've hidden in their pockets. Talk about cool. Oh, and have you heard of those imp-like creatures called bokoblins that hang out on the lookout platforms at sea and stare through their telescopes? I hear that these guys keep joy pendants hidden in their pockets. So if you get one of those grappling hooks, you can use it to swipe their pendants. Useless information, I already know that. Anyway, when we get here to Western Fairy Island, take the skull hammer and whack the peg to douse the fire. So, and the reason I haven't visited these islands yet is because obviously we need to visit Forsaken Fortress a second time to get the skull hammer. Because this place and our next fairy island have pegs that we need to smash. Anyway, here we are going to get our first arrow upgrade, which pretty much is an increase of how many arrows we can carry. In this case, 60. And of course, that means that the next place we will go to, the next fairy island, we will get an upgrade up to 99 arrows, and that is a lot, and that is great because more arrows to shoot, the more we can spam, and yeah. All right, and with that, let's go on to our next to last fairy upgrade. Yeah, next to last. Thorn Fairy Island in Quadrant G4. And I'll go ahead and read the fishman's comment. Tell me, Small Fry, do you have any of them golden feathers? I hear those things are the rage with Rito ladies on Dragon Roost Island these days. They just go gaga over them. But the thing is, the only way to get a gold feather is to defeat one of those bird monsters, or so they say. Yep, Rito men who have goldfish sure have tough lots in life, I tell ya. Of course, you can also beat P-Hats to get the gold feathers too, so you failed to mention that. Anyway, we are here at Thorn Fairy Island, and so aptly named because of the thorns blocking the door. And of course, to get rid of the thorns, we have to hit all 3 pegs in front of it. And I don't know if there's a specific order or you have to hit them in, but make sure you get all 3 of them in the ground. And by doing so, the thorns are gone, and we can get our final arrow upgrade. And I have to say, I have to comment that getting these upgrades, it's a lot easier with these great fairies than shooting galleries and past Zelda games. You know, the ones you have to pay rupees, and then you have to try your luck to get all perfect scores or beat this score. I'm looking at you, Majora's Mask. I'm looking directly at you. In a way, I kind of like it this way because that way we can spend rupees on much more important things later on. Yeah, much more important things. Okay. Calming down. And yeah, this is our last Great Fairy. Yeah. But there's still one more fairy upgrade that we have to get. And we'll get that in a moment. And once we get back up here to the surface, the post box will wiggle and we will be getting 2 letters. I mean, it's not wiggling just yet. Just wait a bit. And there's that cannon boat. Ah, there it is. There it go. And we will be getting 2 letters. One will cost us a whole bunch. 201 rupees. And yes, we have to pay. And it turns out that this thing is from Tingle. Apparently, Tingle sends us this thing called the Incredible Chart. And it's the location of all Triforce peace charts. Yeah. So somehow Tingle knows about these things, and he's charge-linked a hefty sum in order to get this chart. Huh. I wish Tingle wasn't important in this game. Anyway, our second letter is from Link's sister, telling us that she is having a good time with the pirates. Yeah, so for the rest of the game, Hyrule will be hanging out with the pirates, which would explain why we do not see her when we go back to Outset later in the game. Because the pirate ship is apparently ever moving, ever sailing, and it's never in one spot, which means it won't appear unless the plot demands it. And of course, she'll give us 20 rupees, and that's nice of her. Anyway, why is this place called Thorned Island? I mean, besides the obvious thorns. Well, they already have a northern, southern, eastern, and western fairy island, and they probably ran out of names. And of course, they could have had a central fairy island, but regardless, there is one more fairy upgrade that we have to get. And remember Mother and Child Isle? Well, the fairy there says that once we figure out the person we need to protect, come back to that place. And we've just met that person. So now it's time to get the thing. Alright, Queen Fairy, show yourself. Ellen, folks, let's see who the queen is. I mean, those other fairies are elegant. Let's see what this one looks like. Come on. Oh my god. She looks like a little girl. A creepy little girl. I do have to admit, I like this a little better than those great fairies in Ocarina and Majora's Mask. And that is a great fairy doll she is holding, right? It's not a real great fairy that she manages to enslave. Please tell me that's just a doll. And she likes me, okay. Anyway, she is going to give you more power to the bow, another upgrade. Of course, she's going to transfer the doll into 2 fairies. And I suppose they're just going to go fly around, wave their wands, and then abuse me with powers, alright? So, what are you waiting for? Come on, hit me. Not like that! Oh, that would feel weird. Anyway, the 2 fairies that go into Link grant him the power to use fire and ice arrows, just like that. And I do happen to like this creepy looking rendition of the fairy theme we've heard throughout the game. I mean, it's like weird looking with all that clockwork and all that stuff. And of course, she says, like, la 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 la, use the fairies here to heal yourself. We know this already. And of course, the Queen of the Fairies has a crush on Link. And of course, Link here is flattered. And the boat's like, really? Well, to be fair, the Hero of Time is a bigger pimp than this Link. And folks, this is a required event. We have to get the fire and ice arrows from this place. I mean, it's the only way we can continue on this game and complete it. Anyway, we're done with this place. We can get out of here. And right now, I'm going to set course for Windfall Island because, again, before I head on to the temples, I want to gather some things, you know, prepare myself because who knows what these temples hold, what kind of enemies they have. It could be things Link cannot handle without the upgrades. Although a skilled player could probably beat the temples, no problem. But me, I'm more of a cautious player. I'm more of a get everything that will help me along. Because I hate dying. I hate getting game overs. So, yeah. So, in part 22, we will begin collecting a whole bunch of goodies. So, brace yourself. Until then, see you later.